Welcome to Daring to Be, where, as we already know, our goal each week, every time that we encounter you, is to engage, educate, equip, and empower. And we're doing that today with the style maven, the fashionista herself. She is extraordinary in the things that she sets her mind to do, and you can see her flair, her flavor anytime you see her. Stephanie Reese is in the building today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Unconventional. Yes.
Okay. Hello, my sister, my friend. Thank you for having me in the building. She is here.
Yes, she is here. And so tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are. Tell us a little bit about who is Stephanie Reese.
Well, I am a mother of one. His name is Kobe. He's a grown son now, but that's my heartstring. I am a native of Jacksonville, Florida, born, raised, haven't been anywhere else other than traveling. I would like to say I'm a popular loner. I love to be around people. I'm a people person. I am a people pleaser, and I'll explain that a little later. But in my most, my best time is really just one-on-one time, or like a very small circle. Because my life surrounds providing care and support to youth and young adults coming up now in 27 years. And so that line of work, that field of work, it's rewarding and it's also gut wrenching sometimes. And so sometimes I have to check out, like literally check out. I have been working with youth and young adults in various settings, and I wish I could say they've been good settings, but no, I kind of meet them in their trauma, meet them in their, okay, what's next? And, I love the work that I do. I will continue to always do this work. And so that is my 9 to 5. But all of my other time, all of my free time, all of the time where it's not so much free that I'm running almost on empty, is passion work, hard work that has been a baby of mine since probably middle school. And that is fashion design and styling. Oh my God, that is like what gets me going. That gets me up. I love the work that I do for the community, but here lately, these past few years, it's been like, okay, driving force, and God is giving me so many ideas. And so to be able to see them being executed or come to fruition, it's just been amazing these past few years. And my brand is Unconventional, and that's the name of it. And it's just that if I look like you, if I do anything like you, if I do it in the box, I'm not going to be happy. So I always step out of the box. I don't even see the box. And that's kind of how my life has been my entire life, even from work to play. I've just always been the type that I don't ever like to blend in. If society says do it this way, I purposely do it the other way, because I just believe that, I serve Jesus Christ on purpose. And I do believe that in doing so, I have a hand in how my life is supposed to go. I don't have the ultimate hand, but I feel like the decisions that I make, the way that I am, how I treat people, then it yields to, okay, my life is going to go in a certain direction. And so with that, I tie all of it into fashion, loving on people, and trying to make people see themselves in a light that they might not have even envisioned for themselves. It's always so rewarding when I hear my clients say, never wore that. I don't know about that color. Oh, that's too short. And so that, to me, whenever we can get beyond that hurdle, because a lot of those come from feeling a certain kind of way. Either you looked at somebody in that and you want to wear it and it made you feel a certain kind of way, or you just have some internal esteem problems and concerns that you may not even ever address. And so I don't try to be the counselor guru or anything like that. I just try to tell people, listen, You are enough. Don't worry about this, don't worry about that. What you don't have, you have everything you need to pull this off, whether it be work, whether it be that dress you've been trying to wear for 3-4 years. Now you might have to slim down a little bit, but we'll talk about that later. But so that's me. That's me in a nutshell. I love people. I'm at a point in my life to where I've peopled a lot. And so I'm at a transitional point in my life to where I'm still people, but am the primary person. I'm a people. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yes, yes. So tell us a little bit about, you talked about being a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
So share with us what that journey has been like, and obstacles you've had to overcome along the way.
Well, I became a mother at 21. I was the type of mother that probably, I don't know why that car passing by. I don't know if you can hear that on my end, but I don't know if it was a dirt race going on outside my door, but I thought I was in the arena just now. My apologies. But for me, I was one of those mothers who initially I thought I could still do everything that I was doing, meaning going out and having a good time, my version of a good time, and just kind of like being some level of reckless. And so what made me kind of snap it, get it together, is before my son was even born, at 4 months, I began to dilate. And so I was almost at 3 centimeters at 4 months. And they keep you, if anybody's watching or anything about childbirth, they keep you at 4 centimeters. And so it kind of brought me to, and I honestly tell people from that time till now, I looked at my whole life completely different. It really did not even matter at that point, because I knew then, I was like, oh my God, this is for real, for real. And they were telling me, I mean, I was young, I didn't understand everything. And they were telling me and his father, like, we're going to have to stop your child from coming. And he said, but at the end of the day, he could still come very early. And he did. He ended up coming. I had to have surgery that same day. I was actually going to see what we were going to have. And from that day, well, no, you're actually about to have your child. And I was immediately rushed to have a surgery, a procedure that I had never heard of. I learned so much in about 2 days that it was just overwhelming. I'm like, okay, I said then, and I didn't have the relationship I had with Christ that I do now, but I still knew to pray. I still knew that he was going to have to see me through this. Now, oh, she good in 4 to 5, but then I didn't know. So I'm sure I said all kind of scriptures wrong. Ain't no telling what I said in that hospital bed, because I needed to be by myself. I told his son, I told his dad, I said, you know what, just give me a minute. And I don't even remember half of what I said, but whatever I said, it permeated his heart, and he was right there in that room with me. And my son was delivered 3 months later. He did end up still coming 2 months early, but from that time to this one, I knew that, okay, like the song said, my life is not my own. It didn't matter what I needed. It didn't matter what desire I had. I was one of those mothers who, my son was my life. He really and truly was. If that meant I need to change my job, if that meant struggling, as long as we're together, because it was not going to be any situation where he's somewhere here. Wherever we're going to be together. Yes, and we're going to lock in, and listen, you're going to grow me up and I'm going to grow you up. And that's exactly what happened. And so I treasure the relationship that we have even still to this day. He's 26, never given me any problems. We've always been very, very close. I thank God that I've never had to deal with him choosing the right friends. I've never had to deal with gangs and drugs and all those things that some people really have to deal with. He's never, like they say, smelling himself. He's a young man and feeling like because I always allowed him to be himself, but understand now, with being yourself, there are certain consequences that come along with that. So make sure that you being you doesn't compromise what you know is the truth and what you know is your moral fiber. Do what you're going to do, but understand something. it's gonna circle back around if your hands ain't clean. And so he'll tell me all day, always says, "Ma, you always told me keep my hands clean, keep my hands clean." Exactly, keep your hands clean. Make sure you have good rapport in these streets. No, it doesn't matter what people think of you, but to a certain degree, you don't want certain things that you do in this life to be something that you have to carry because of something that you willfully did. Right. People are gonna have public opinion, but I always told my son, keep your hands clean. And so it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And I love the part of our relationship now. It's to the point now where I'm parenting you, but I'm not parenting you the same as if you were 16, if you were 6. No, you're 26. So I really step back more, but I love the blessing is he pulls me in versus me jumping in. And so I feel like, Lord, I must have done something right because he still to this day will call me, Mom, what do you think about this? And it's always his life decisions. He still includes me. And so I'm very grateful for our relationship. And I thank God for it. He told me to calm my little nerves because I told him I want a grandbaby. He told me he's not thinking about no kids right now. So, you know, I'm okay with that for now because I need a little granddaughter with afro puffs or I need a little grandboy with big old cheeks. But other than that, yeah, he told me to calm my nerves. But it's been a journey, sis. It really has been a journey. And like I tell everybody, it beat me up. It stopped me from my reckless ways. And it really helped me to be a better person. And it helped me to see, really, that's when I really started working with youth and young adults. Because at that point, I knew I didn't just want anybody pouring into my child. I was so concerned, like when he's not in my presence, who's around him. And so I wanted to be one of those people that other parents could say, well, when he's with Miss Stephanie or when she with Miss Stephanie, oh, they guarantee that. And so that really fueled me because I wanted the same for him. Right. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's gonna be some hard times for anybody listening, watching, but lock in because it was never designed for me to be a single parent. I know, the order of how God does things. But some of us won't be single parents. Some of us are going to be single parents, just like some of us are going to be single. And so I've learned to whatever my life, it is what.
Yes, so yes.
That's what it is.
Yes, I think what you hit on was important. I know having an adult daughter, you parent differently. And so I think once they become adults and they are responsible and they're doing what they do, that it's important for parents to take on a coaching role. Mm-hmm. When they were younger, like you said, 6, 16, early years, we had to parent. We had to make those decisions and those choices. But relinquishing that control and allowing them to grow and develop and even make their own mistakes. Because listen, that's the way that we learned. That's the way they learn as well. And so as an adult, we coach them rather than tell them what to do, right?
Right.
And so it is beautiful to have that type of relationship where your child, even as an adult, still wants to include you in choices that they make. And so I share that same kind of relationship with my daughter. One of the things she reminded me of is that everything that I taught her is still in there. And so as a young adult, when she first really started having her own place and doing all of those things, she said, I know you're going to worry about me, but I want you to know that what you taught me is still in there. And I heard it one time when she had her first little apartment and she's telling her friend, cut them lights off. No, you need to eat the end of the piece of bread. You don't throw that away. I was like, she said, I sound like you. I said, you sure do. She said, I told you it's in there. So, yeah. And so that's good. And just mom to mom, let me congratulate you for raising a human being that is compassionate and caring and knows how to stand on business.
He does. Thank you.
Loves the Lord.
He does. So, he does. Yeah. Indeed, he does. And likewise, Miss Honey, listen, Miss Lady, and if she is sounding like you, that ain't a bad thing. So how about
Right.
that?
Yes, yes. So tell me, how did you get started in fashion design? What inspires your creative process? Tell us where you started with that, how you started, and then tell us what's your creative process like?
Okay, so I tell people all the time when they ask me this question, I guess I wish I could say that, I was inspired by this designer and I saw this. No, my story, how I started even considering anything fashion design, anything, was to camouflage my weight. So I've always been a heavy woman. Always, I was a heavy kid. I was pretty plus JC Penney back in the day. And if you're a plus size person, that was where the kids that were a little chunkier, that's where you got those from. And so for me, my thing was, if I put on this color, or if I kind of make my clothes a little extra, then you'll concentrate on what I have on versus how big I am. And at one point, I was 512 pounds. And so I took every effort to, hide per se behind my clothes. And so the older I got, and this is middle school, I even covered my legs. Like I wore stockings every day because I felt like my legs were too big. And so I'm going to wear stockings. And it was so funny. People thought I came from private school. And I would get asked that question, you used to go to private school? And I was like, I never understood the correlation because they wore tights and stockings. And so it didn't matter if it was winter, summer, it didn't matter if I had on shorts. My legs were covered probably all of middle school, literally. And I didn't even realize that, Stephanie, you have on white stockings and a jean skirt. Girl, they see your legs. Girl, what you doing in these streets? Girl, what are you doing? I didn't look at a mess in these streets. But in my mind, in the unformed brain of somebody that's just trying to fit in, their version of fit in by hiding, that was what I thought I needed to do. And so, unfortunately, that lasted way longer than it should have. It really did. It really and truly did. And I wish I could tell you it went away in high school. I wish I could tell you it went away in my 20s. It did not. And so I got to a point to where I started liking what I was seeing because I started getting compliments. Oh, that's nice. I took off them white stockings. That's nice. That's nice. Who did that? Who did? And so what I would do, because I still was heavy, I would take, if I saw that skirt or that shirt, I would take that, cut them up, and put them together. Or I didn't even know at the time I was ripping. I just know I was cutting down the line, and I'm finna add something else to it. Didn't know how to put elastic on. So a lot of times I had it tied up in a knot. And because I was heavy, that knot folded right into that belly, and nobody knew. But in my mind, I was like still covering up all of this. And so I tell people all the time, my story didn't start from this happy, wonderful place. It actually started from a place of feeling inferior, a place of self-esteem issues. And from that, I started to see myself. And then I started putting on makeup. My aunt was just, and she still does to this day, her makeup is always amazing. And I was like, okay. And then I grew up in a single parent household. So it wasn't all this money for this, that, and the third, to buy this, to buy that. My grandmother, rest her wonderful soul, she got me into thrifting. And so we would go to the thrift store. And I was like, wait a minute. So I can get like a whole outfit for like $4 and all the stuff to go along with it. So then I started playing dress up. And so the more I did that, I would see things, put it together, and then I'm going to wear it. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I should wear that color. I'm a little too big for red. I'm going to feel like and I say, you know what? Bump it. Because I'm going to wear this. I'm going to, and that from that. And that was probably entering into maybe my junior year in high school. And the more I did it, the more I did it. But then my grandma had passed. My grandma passed when I was 8 years old. So stuff that she taught me way then, just going to thrift stores, it stayed with me. Even to this day, you can find me in somebody's thrift store. And so from that was my biggest motivation. And then I flipped it over and I said, you know what? I'm not the only plus size girl out here feeling a certain kind of way. I know I'm not. And so from then, I started targeting, literally looking for plus size women I could dress. And it was just amazing. The movement, I call it added value. I want to get rid of the word plus size. So my motivation these days are to never blend in. And I want to inspire women of a certain size and age that it doesn't matter what industry says. You can still strut, be amazing in your own skin, whether that skin is a 1X, 2X, all the way to a 5X. Whatever your X is, you may not even have an X. Whatever it is, I just want to celebrate you and your genuine body. And we're going to build around your body. We're not going to make you be this body. We're going to celebrate the body that you have. And so I've been received very well in the plus size community, male and female. And it's so amazing that now, because of the work that I'm doing and because how I love to highlight women of a certain size and age, that it's so amazing that at least once or twice a week, I get a model that's a size 2 asking me, can I model for you? Can I be a brand ambassador? Can I? And I'm like, years ago, wasn't nobody checking for me? Wasn't nobody checking for me. And the opportunities are coming. And as of last year, I started really, well, year before last, I really started going after my dream of design and style and all of those things. And I'm telling you, every month from May 2023 all the way up until current, every month I get a new opportunity, something I've never done. Every month. And I thank God for it because it's without fail. I always would work up until December 15th. And I would even at work, I would take vacation time. The last few weeks of the year, I don't do anything. Sis, I was working up until December 31st, 11:48 p.m. Literally. Wow. I don't know the last time, but I thank God because my prayer for my business as I venture on in Jesus' name is to be sought after versus seeking. And he has fulfilled that. I said, Lord, I want to be sought after, but I want to be sought after with good intentionality. And if they don't mean me well, reveal it. And so it's been an amazing journey, and I feel like it's just getting really started. Coming back because I first came out at least 5 years ago, just doing all accessories and working on other people's shows. And now, my apologies, these allergies in Florida. Now I'm doing shows, and people are asking me, "Hey, can you?" And I'm actually telling people no because I'm booked. Look at God. What is that about? What is that about? So yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm excited because I feel like it's really just getting started. And it's overwhelming, and I ain't gonna sit here and pretend. It's overwhelming sometimes because it's like, okay, Lord, now I know what I prayed for. I know what you said. I know what you showed me. But I wanted to have a studio. I wanted to have my own showroom to do all this stuff. So you mean tell me I gotta make all these clothes in my dining room on a fold-up table? But Lord, so it's like you dream, but I'm like, all right, Lord. Now and every month, like clockwork, every month since May, without fail, and I've never had to reach out to anybody, and I'm not, I do not want to have any arrogance at all, but I thank God. And I said, you know what, Lord, I appreciate it because at one point, nobody knew who I was, and it's growing and it's developing, but I'm being known for something that's encouraging, and it's good to be known for that versus the other. So I thank God for that. I really do. So yeah, I was just on the news, and it wasn't for breaking it. And it wasn't for breaking into me.
I love it. I love it. Yes. River City Live. Yeah.
I was on River City Live.
Yes.
And I said, well, Lord, I know I was there, but it was just so surreal. And you go in the studio and all these people. I said, that's the lady that be on the news. I'm like, Lord, I'm here with these people. Yeah. So it's this whole week has just been leading up to my first show for the season start is going to be on Sunday. So it's like, it's just been a journey. It's been a journey, and I thank God for it. And my hugest motivation is just really wanting to see plus size women in a whole different light. I don't have anything against another size, but I know what I experienced for wearing stockings for 3 whole years in middle school. I mean, even when we dressed out for gym, I would have stockings on with socks and tennis shoes because I felt just that bad about the way I looked. And I'm like, fast forward to now, can you imagine social media, my mind, where I was feeling and how they portray beauty on social media and on TV? Can you imagine what my thought process would have been? We may not even be sitting here today.
Right.
We may even be sitting here today because we're sponges. And if you're already in the dumps and all you see is people that don't look anything like you all across, and I still tell people all the time. I tell people, I just told somebody when I told them no the other day,